Hey guys, welcome back. Cheap Comic Collector, episode 494. It's right here. Should be October 21st when you see this. And like an idiot, I forgot to show you a whole bunch of stuff yesterday. The episode was only like 30 some minutes long. I was supposed to be doing longer episodes on Sundays. I had a whole pile of stuff here to show you. And it completely slipped my mind. I guess I got so excited about those Disney comics and going through those again after all these years that I just totally slipped my mind on what I was doing. So, got a bunch of books here to show you. Some will be going in the sale, some I'll be keeping. And we're going to start off with an A-OK and a trade from my buddy Roger Metarog. So let's go up top. So, yeah, I got these books in from Metarog. Oops. He needs to see that belly. Too many big belly. All right, there we go. Yeah, so I had a book that he wanted to trade for, and he reached out and he said, "Hey, Rob, anyway, you'd let go of that book. It's the only one I need to complete this set." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." But I don't know what to ask for, So I ended up telling him, just send me like a couple of older books, and that's fine. So he didn't send me one book. He didn't send me two books. He sent me a whole pile of books, right? So yeah, trade A-OK. Some of these will actually be going in the sale because they're doubles for me. Which he said in his note, just do whatever you want with these. That's fine. And normally I would keep things that people send me as gifts. But if I already have it, then we want to share what we've got with the community. So some of these will be going out into the sale. But this is World's Finest, number 210, and this one I do not have. So this one's going to be staying with me. What kind of strange world is this? No one has a face. Superman, you're losing your face too. So I guess this one, Superman loses face in this one. Plus 2 Golden Age thrillers, Black Pirate and The King. So yeah, that rare period of time when World's Finest did not feature Batman. Superman was teaming up with other characters. This was 1972, and that probably is what led to DC Comics Presents. They're like, okay, yeah, we can do this, and they kind of spun that out into that. Sorry, I realized looking at this that I've read this story at some point in my life. I must have had it in a reprint or something like that. I remember this panel of this little figure wandering away, and I remember thinking, this is really cool art with Oliver Queen and stuff in it, and the interaction between Oliver Queen and Clark Kent, and I remember all of this from when I was a kid. This might have been like one of the coverless stories that was in the barbershop. That I reread every time I went to the barbershop because he never had any new comics. I remember there was a couple issues there. One of them was a Teen Titans. It was my only exposure to the original Teen Titans back then. I don't remember the backup stories. So this was reprinted somewhere else probably that I had or that I had read in the barbershop. So Black Pirate and The King. I'm not familiar with The King. But this was from World's Best Comics number 1 from 1940. Excuse me, 1941. Oh my. Which of course was the first issue of World's Finest. They changed it to World's Finest with the second issue. So that's cool. So yeah, that one will be staying with me. Thank you, Roger, very much for all of these. Thor, number 277. Thor, kill Thor and Asgard falls. Alone I stand without my hammer against the hordes of Hela, and if I fail, the day of doom is upon us. Cool, 35 center, nice cover. Yeah, that's awesome. That'll be staying with me as well. Adam and Hawkman, yeah, 12 center, number 42. Look at that cover. That's awesome. Joe Kubert cover, Hawkman, Adam, and this guy. When gods make madness, at the Adam and Hawkman, the Titan and the Fury. That's cool. You know what? Let's take a look. Let's take a look on the inside. No. Oh, there's the art credit. Story by Denny O'Neil. Art by Dick Dillon. I was going to say, this looks like the same art that was in the World's Finest, but I wasn't expecting to see Dick Dillon art in this one, but there he is. Great stuff. Classic ads. Centerfold's loose, but I don't care about that. Letters page. Hot Girl making an appearance. Challengers of the Unknown and the Unexpected ad. On Aaron's show the other night, as I record this, it might have been Rod, I'm not sure. Somebody showed an issue of Challengers of the Unknown where they were dealing with the Swamp Thing. And it occurred to me that would make an interesting Challengers of the Unknown series if they did a new series where they were investigating the unknown, but like the DC versions of unknown, right? So instead of just random mysteries, they could investigate the Phantom Stranger or the Spectre or Dead Man or any of these things where they don't necessarily know about it, although considering their history, I guess they would probably know about all that stuff. I don't know exactly who they've teamed up with and so forth. But yeah, they could interact with a lot of different DC characters investigating the unknown, dealing with the supernatural or things like Dinosaur Island and stuff like that. So I mean, maybe they've done that. I don't know. I'm not familiar with all the Challengers of the Unknown storylines and stuff, but that would be an interesting take on those characters, I think. So keeping that one as well. Action Comics 352. Need this one. And I am, trying to put those Action Comics runs together. So I'll be keeping that. Silver Age Go-Go Checks, man. Nice. Thank you so much, Roger. And then the next four are ones that I already have. So these will be going into the sale. So we're going to be a little picky on condition on these. They don't matter to me, and they shouldn't matter to you, as old, as beautiful as these comics are. But since I'm selling them, I do need to point that out. So this is Tarzan, number 220. It's got a little number written up here, some tears up here, a little bit, some kind of staining going on in here and here, which that might actually come off. That let me try. Scraping that a little bit. Yeah, that's coming right off, whatever that is. That's malted milk or something. These other ones aren't going to, but that did. And I did want to, that number 3 looks like it's in pencil, so I'm going to try some abserine on that as well. See if that'll come off. It's right there. It's kind of hard to get because it's right there in the corner. No, that's not coming off. That surprises me. Maybe it's not pencil then, because pencil usually comes right off with that stuff. There's some rips on the back as well. Here and here, the page is all there. It's just ripped. But fun stuff. Tarzan number 220. And then from Atlas, we have the Destructor number 3. Nice tight copy. It does have a lot of spine text right here. For some reason, there isn't really any down here, but there's a whole bunch of them right in here. Mighty Crusaders number 2. Nice wraparound cover from the Red Circle group. 1983 this was from, and of course it's the Archie characters. And when I was showing these on Aaron's show, Roger pointed out that the group that they're fighting, the Malevolent Legion of Juggernauts, their initials spell out MLJ, which was a former name for Archie Comics. They used to be called MLJ. So that's cool too. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's beautiful. Warrior of Mr. What is that? Mr. Midnight. Warrior of Omri. I've never heard of Mr. Midnight. Copyright by Richard Buckler. Creator owned. Interesting. That they were doing a creator owned character. Oh, this is beautiful. I'm glad I have this one. And the first story was written, drawn, and edited by Rich Buckler as well. So he was the editor. He self-edited. But of course, these would have been copyrighted by Archie, like Red Circle or whatever. So interesting that as part of his deal, he was able to do his own character as in the back. Nice. And then we have John Target Manstalker number 3. A lot of spine wear on this one, quite a bit. But and somebody wrote 50 up here in the corner over the comics code. Looks like, yeah, it looks like the kind of marker that won't come off, but we'll try. I'm going to actually get rid of some of this older stuff that I've used already. Yes, I'm coming off. It's funny, it's like some of those come off depending on what kind of marker it is, and some of them don't. So anyway, those 4 will be going into the upcoming sale. And I guess I'll just leave them here. I'll say I need a place to put them. And then this next set, I showed all these on Aaron's channel about a month ago. And I got these 3 in along with this bunch. And I opened this one. These three came in a separate package as a giveaway. And I don't remember. I guess I won maybe the Awesome Man or something. As a giveaway. And then he threw in a couple more issues. This is actually a free comic book day one. I didn't realize that until now. But this is Awesome Man #1. It's copyright Joe Mateo. Published by Astonish Comics in Toluca Lake, California. So it's probably, it looks like it's self-published. Not a lot of dialogue. Okay, this could be fun. It looks like it's a little, you know, just a kid who imagines himself as this superhero. And he wakes up as the superhero at the end. So that could be cool. I don't know how many issues there have been. I guess I could look that up real quick. Awesome Man. And why was there never a character called Awesome Man before? That seems like a natural name. There was only 2 issues, at least so far, from 2002. So probably only 2 issues. And says it doesn't have publisher information, but that's not true. We just saw that name there. So Astonish Comics did print other stuff. Hero Bear and Mr. Kid for 5 issues. We've seen that before. That's their longest running series that they did. Looks like they published from 1999 to 2004. Okay. And then we have the Ballad of Sleeping Beauty, free comic book day. Don't know what this is either. Looks like a Western. You got the Indian, like, ghost-like thing in the back. From Beckett Comics. #1, 2004. Interesting. And then this is called Crawling Sky #1 from Antarctic Press. One of those lovely pieces of tape that want to break the bag. Oh, black and white. Nice black and white. That's cool. Crawling Sky, published by Antarctic Press, #1, January 2013. All right. Nice art, but once again, not a whole lot of dialogue. Looks like it gets into it a little bit later. This looks like it's worth checking out. All right, and then we get into the pile of stuff that I actually ordered. From Moonstone, we got Bedtime Stories for Impressionable Children, #1. Nothing inside looks as good as that cover. I did check it out earlier to see, you know, how family friendly it might be. We got from DC Comics, we have The Spirit, #3. #4. Spelljammer, #1, based on the TSR game from DC. Batman, $5.99. Justice League of America, $129. Justice League of America, $182. A lot of spine ticks on this one. Got a folded over cover back here, little denty things along the side, unfortunately. So a little rough shape. Guardians of the Galaxy, #15. 21. This one's got some wear, especially on that white spine. #22, same thing. Great cover though. Like the way Starhawk looks on there. 32. And then wanted to open one of these up. I haven't checked these out yet. Holiday. And I have some other issues in here as well. But this is #2. It costs 250 cents. Written by Dave Samuelson, illustrated by Jason Wright. So I don't know. I don't know what this is. I guess it's just a Western, probably featuring Doc Holliday, but interesting line work on the art. And I don't know much. Okay, here we go. Just to give you readers a little background, here's a little history lesson. First, John P. Clum, whose book Kate's Story was taken from, was actually a newspaper man in the late 1800s. He started the Tombstone Epitaph and worked for it through the time Doc spent in Tombstone. Clum was more partial to the side of the Earps and Doc, and using his name on the made-up Seven Shooters book is a tribute to him. The locations of the characters is historically accurate. Doc was in Pueblo, Kate was in Globe, Ringo's whereabouts are somewhere in the area around Tombstone, and Globe was close enough that he could have been there. Ringo's father actually killed himself. Whether it was an accident or not isn't quite certain, but it did happen. Doc actually used the alias Tom McKay in some instances. There are rumors in some books that Ringo did have an affair with Kate. In terms of the art, Jason did a lot of research on the clothes, scenery, and especially the weapons. Doc's nickel-plated Colt Lightning are a good example. A little more real facts will be revealed after the conclusion to our story next issue. Thanks for reading. So, okay, so it's sounds like it's a historically accurate made-up story, if that makes sense. So got that. Got Fury Peacemaker #1 from Marvel Knights line. Garth Ennis. Grumpy Old Monsters. This was another ones that we wanted to check out. And I had issues 2 and 3 in here. It's from IDW 2004. I was thinking I had got 3 issues, the first issue as well, but all I have here is 2 and 3, so I guess I'm mistaken about that. I'm probably mixing up the series I was bidding on. So yeah, it looks like it's just basically a cartoon monster story of some sort. Next stop, Castle Frankenstein. Cool. Okay, it's weird to me that they would show character drawings like this. Was Grumpy Old Monsters an actual cartoon or something that I don't know about? Grumpy Old Monsters. Oh, I spelled it wrong. All right, I don't think so. I think it's just a comic book. Looks like it was, once it was finished, it published as a trade paperback. So I don't see anything about cartoons or anything coming up. So so there you have it. There's number 2, number 3. And it's more Guardians of the Galaxy, number 18, with a World of Punishers. Number 19. And here's Doc Holliday, number 1 and number 3. So we had 1, 2, 3, which I think is the full set of that series. Vampirella, Dark Reflections, number 3. And FF number 1 by Michael Elred, and number 2. Marvel Comics Presents number 1. This is got Vanguard, Hellcat, Spider-Man, The Thing, and Weapon Omega in it. So quite a few issues of this. The wraparound cover. Got Man-Thing back there as well. I don't know if they're all in this issue or if they're just on the cover, but story and art by Nelson. I love this expression on The Thing. It's not too many people who draw The Thing and are able to draw him in a way where he has nothing more than anger in his face, right? So that drew my attention right away. A nicely drawn Thing. I like that. Very cool. Star Masters number 1 from AC Comics. I feel like I had that one recently. Star Force 6 Special number 1 from AC Comics. That looks like it's a wraparound. Oh, it's not. But since we have it out, we'll take a look. Black and white, 1984. Oh, remember this Space Arc page. I must have had this recently too. Okay. And then we have the Spirit. This is number 2 from DC. And number 1 from DC. And I haven't really checked out the DC version of the Spirit. And now that I'm working my way slowly, extremely slowly through the original Spirit series that I got from Matt, I wanted to check this out and see. Yeah. It might be okay. It's definitely not as interesting as the original. But gotta depend a lot on this story. So yeah, those are cool. And then we also got in these guys, and these I'm keeping as well. I ended up paying up for these. I was getting good deals, and then other people came in the room, and I was unable to get anything more. I paid $3.03 for these, a piece for these. So these will not be going into a sale unless I already have them, which I do not. So, and this one I actually paid $4 for just because I really wanted it. It's Avengers 142. It's got a couple little tiny spine ticks right here, but other than that, this thing is perfect. I don't care about condition most of the time very much. But I recognize good condition when I find it, and this is beautiful. So I really wanted this cover with the Western characters on it. So very cool that's going. Yeah, what am I doing? I'm keeping these. I'll put it here so you can stare at it. So yeah, this is Stand With Me. These are all Stand With Me. Justice League of America 140 giant size issue. Does got a lot of creases and stuff in this one, but cool stuff. Justice League of America 152. Number 132, the Bicentennial banner. Nice. And a couple early issues of Super Friends I think I have 1 through 4 now, or 1 through, this is number 6, and this is number 3. So I definitely have 1 through 3, and not sure. Let me pull up my list. It's already booted up here. Super Friends. Super Friends. Yeah, I have 1, 2, and 7. Then it jumps to 7. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. So, and I have a couple later issues too, but yeah, these are pretty beat up, but complete. So cool stuff. Introducing the Murderous Menagerie Man. And then who's this guy? He kind of looks like, reminds me of like Frankenstein Jr. a little bit, but then, of course that's not him. That does it. I've beaten every superhero on Earth. So now it's up to Wendy and Marvin. The Cosmic Hitman is the title. Okay, it looks like there's a whole bunch of different style unknown villains in this one, or at least not ones I've heard of. The World Beater is the guy's name. And apparently this guy here is behind all the villains. He's got them all captured or something and imprisoned, and then they Maybe he's telling them he'll let them go if they defeat the superheroes or something. There's a nice ad for the book and record sets from Peter Pan. Shows a bunch of them. Ad for one of the Rudolph comics. I would love to get my hands on just one of those. Although to me Rudolph is drawn kind of weird, but I just want to see what they're like. Cool stuff. And then finally we have Justice League of America 139. So working on my Justice League and Super Friends. And Avengers. So cool stuff throughout. Thank you so much once again, Roger Metarog. Check out his channel. Put a note to try to remind myself to put a tag to his channel at the end. But everybody knows who he is. There's more people watching him than me, that's for sure. So anyway, thank you once again. And thanks to you guys for watching. I appreciate that. And we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, guys.